Here's the number one thing that destroys marriages, according to a pastor that has like 40 years of ministry under his belt. It is a little long, so bear with me. I'm just going to read you what he said, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So he said, in large, you could track it back to feminism from a variety of viewpoints. It's often pointed out that men destroy marriages with pornography, which can be very true, but it's often not mentioned that because of feminism, women have been told to withhold sex from men whenever that man displeases them. So you now have a man who is married who doesn't get to have sex with his wife because he's committed some kind of infraction that she disagrees with. And as you can see, that would naturally push a man towards the use of pornography. Secondly, he said, feminism also causes women not to behave like women, and it often leads to a very catty relationship between women because it causes women to behave like men. Because of this, they often turn towards their husbands, seeking for him to be that friendship that they no longer have with other women. This leads to the feminization of men because men are not women, but they expect him to kind of behave like their friend. And because women are more naturally astute at relationships, the man typically is out of his depth and does not lead in the way that he should. This once again puts a horrible blockage in the marriage because it is not people who are coming together and complementing each other's weaknesses, but instead trying to make one into what and trying to make him into what he was never intended to be. You also have the natural issues people run into: love, raising children, financial issues, in-laws, sexuality. Those are the leading causes of divorce. I thought that was such an interesting answer because that is what I see. It is in the divorces I have witnessed, it is not the men that have left, it's the women that have left. That's just a personal anecdote for me, but statistically that's also accurate. 70% of divorces are initiated by women, and that's what I've seen in my life. It's mostly the women that are like, you know what, I'm done. This is not a good trend, okay? This is a bad trend, and I really think that we should reject feminism as it stands today. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my right to vote. I think women's suffrage was a great thing, and I cherish that right to vote that I have. But at some point, can we admit maybe we've gone a little too far, you know? Rejecting feminism, it doesn't mean that you're any less of a woman, of course. Your husband, he's going to be the head of your household, but you get to be the center of your family. And that's something that we don't talk about very often. Everything runs around you and through you, and you should be this beautiful, celebrated thing in your family. You get the title of mom. That's amazing. Your husband, he desperately needs you. Your children, they desperately need you. And some people see this as a burden. In the eyes of feminism, this is a burden. It is not a burden. It is a gift. And there are women who desperately want this and seek this and will never get to have it. And so if you do have it, I hope that you are cherishing that. See, the problem with feminism is that it's going to make it all about you. With abortion, it's not about the baby or the child's life. It's about your body. With gender equality, we require that women are hired just for the sheer diversity quotas, and we don't even stop to consider the men that we are gypping out of jobs and their families and the women in their families. By gypping a man, you're also gypping a woman sometimes, and we don't consider these things. Feminism, it makes it all about you, and a life lived for yourself is a sad life, and that is the dang truth.